Hey everyone, this is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. You guys, I have an interview for you today. Put a ring on it. Catherine and Rickey, one of my favorite couples, because y'all know I talked about them every week that they were on, okay? And I was so happy to see that they were willing to move forward with an interview today, this late Monday night, but we are going to get it done. We're going to ask all the burning questions that I was screaming to the television when I was watching. They are really open to talking. And I'm first going to have them introduce themselves, their names, their businesses, and then we're going to get right into it because y'all know how I like to do it over here. Hit that like, subscribe, and your notification bell. That way others can find this video. And let's get started with Miss Catherine.
Hello again, and thank you for the interview. I'm Catherine. Of course, you've seen me on season 4 of Put a Ring on It. I am a salon owner of C3 Hair Sanctuary, and people can connect and engage with me on Instagram at cat_the stylist or C3 Hair Sanctuary.
Okay, and I'm going to just show everyone. This is what it looks like. TCWE Stylist Sanctuary. Okay, that's really cute. Okay, and then hey, Mr. Rickey.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Rickey Graves. I am an editor and a creative. You can follow me at Slick Vision, and all my information is there. Ready to get this get going.
All right, here you go. So this is Slick Vision for Rickey. He is a video creator. Please go follow, check him out. I'm sure for both of them, actually check them out. You know, we need video creators. We need us hairstylists. So we'll get that done. Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. I have written out some questions for both of y'all. So I'll probably be looking down and talking to you at the same time, okay? And hopefully that will work for you. But clearly you guys are sitting here together. That was my first question. Are you still a couple?
Yes, we are still a couple.
Still a couple.
A lot of people have been trying to figure it out and why Cat didn't do this and that, but we are still a couple, yes, just like everybody else. You know,
still a couple.
People out here.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm happy. I actually thought, like, first of all, let me say this too. The 4th season of Put a Ring on It was the best season. Okay. I've watched every season and this was absolutely the best. And one of the reasons is because I feel like you guys brought a real story to the show. I really felt your story. And everybody gave a great story, but you two and Dunbar and Chance were the standouts. Immediately I was like, these are the people I'm keeping my eye on, and you know, we lost Dunbar and Chance, but you guys gave, I was like, this kind of hurts. Like I could feel some of the things that was going on. And so I'm happy to see that you're still a couple, because you know, when I first watched, I saw you, Rickey, say that, you know, you guys had this relationship, but you stayed friends, and then you caught back up and you immediately asked her, come live with me. And you did it, Kat, thinking, hey, this is who I want to be with. And then things happen, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Have you put a ring on it yet, Rickey?
No, I have not. But you know, it's us being together, and when you're in a relationship, that really is the end goal, is to put a ring on it.
It's to put a ring.
But I feel like even with the experience going on that was me trying to put a ring on it, because just being a man and being married before, I take it very serious. I mean, it's high stakes for men out here right now when you're ready to get married, and that's just how I felt. Like, let's do it. We're gonna do it. Let's really get into it and do it.
Okay. And so literally, why did you guys want to be on the show? Like, what was, like, how did you go to the casting call? What was it? What happened that said, this is what we should do?
There wasn't a casting call. I was on Instagram when he had just left for work, because I had literally just moved here. And to clarify real quick, the backdoor real quick, we had dated in 2012 for a year or so. And then we broke up. And then we got back together last year, early January. And then once I moved here in May, that's when I was on Instagram scrolling. And I responded to an Instagram that was basically like, it was real generic. Like, it didn't seem like a reality show. It was just like, are you and your spouse having the conversation about an ultimatum with, you know, getting married. And so we had been having a conversation because at this point we had only been dating for about 6 months again, like where we reconnected and got back together and was trying to deal with our past a little bit, but figuring it out. And then he asked me to move with him. And I think that happened within that month where we started talking to Kara Casting because she instantly responded. Like I filled out the questionnaire, which was like 10 questions. And then they instantly responded. And like he's already out the door. And so he doesn't like reality TV at all.
You can tell though.
Yes,
you can tell though.
You're so reserved, and I was like, is this? Are you just like, you know, laid back, or is this nonchalant?
Yeah. I mean, I am laid back, and that is my personality, and I guess with doing the show, it just stands out a little bit more because they edit parts and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just, you know, you got to get it. But for the most part, I'm laid back, but it's a whole, you know, different side and all of that to me. So
it's a whole different side. So I would say from the both of you, you were a little harder to read, Rickey. Catherine
still is.
Catherine, I was like, I understand everything that she's going through. I was like,
I'm an open book though.
For you, I was like, well, he's been married before. He has a kid. He understands commitment. I'm just confused as what's going on. So it confused me just a little bit, but I'm gonna have you answer those questions, okay? I just wanted to know.
But to finish up my thought about the getting casted, it was easy process because after I responded to Beth at Kara Casting, it was like we were instantly pushed through to put a ring on it, and we were like automatically on the phone with like the producer, the execs in Cali, and like they were just basically like they were into us too because they were just like, we love y'all, and it was just like the process went super fast, and we were like within a month they were like, yeah, you guys are a couple. For the show, and we were so shook and surprised and didn't know what to expect.
Life was happening fast.
It was happening
ever
very
since
fast.
we decided to be together and start, you know, making moves together. It's just been happening like that. And,
yes,
it's just been, you know, really like
propelling at a fast pace. Even the dating phase for us, because even when we started talking in January, it was like I was constantly coming here because I was trying to gauge the environment for my business and moving and transitioning. And he was constantly inviting me. And then he started coming to Dallas. And that's when we just kind of made that plan in that 6 months. Like, hey, I think this is what we feel could work, you know?
Wow. That's pretty impressive too. Yeah, but literally you guys you jump off the screen. You jumped off the screen. So
you can tell.
I mean, I'm really not. And you have such a bright smile, like your smile lights up. Really attractive people. Okay. So I wanted to ask also, let me see, I'm sorry about that. Do you remember, Kat, what was going through your mind the day you had to film whether or not he was going to give you a ring and you didn't get the ring? Do you remember that? Like, do you guys talk about that before that happened, or it was a real surprise?
Me and him did discuss a few things because in the space that I was coming out of the process, I was being aware of a lot of my issues and my trauma and what Dr. Stacy preaches about the most, which is making sure your whole is good. And in that space that I was coming into, because he is my friend too, it was a real space of, I got to make sure I'm good. You know, like marriage is important for me because obviously I don't desire to have kids for other reasons. But marriage was really important to me. And he knew that upon coming into this relationship because he had been married before. So that was something we made very clear that is something we're going to do within 2 years. And so we had a conversation, not him telling me what he was going to do, but we ran into a few obstacles because, again, we were in a space of trying to grow and save. And, you know, that's one of the reasons we even live at his family's house is because we want to save money to buy a house, save money to fix our credit, save money to just save money, you know, because this is a good, comfortable, supportive situation. And so we did not put in our plans, and we are people that really tried to plan our life out, especially because it was propelling so fast, him buying an engagement ring. And so when the show brought that to his attention. It was kind of one of those things of, I really care about my partner and my best friend and my boyfriend enough for him to not be stressed in this process of like this time of filming and trying to buy a ring. And
Okay.
we're not even really ready just for the sake of saving face for a show. That
Okay.
was a space that I was really clear on with him
Okay.
before he made his decision. And my thing was, I will support whatever decision you decide. But this is where I am.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And so, even though the show made it seem more dramatic, you guys had already kind of settled on what you were going to do, but his choice to do it was his choice, whether you did.
Yes, I made sure that that was his choice
Okay.
because that was a thing that I picked up on, is that I was really pushy with him, you know, more so controlling, with trying to sway him to think like me instead of just accepting him for his own thoughts, his own beliefs, and Rickey doing what Rickey wants, you know.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So I want to ask you, Rickey, how long were you married to your ex-wife, if you don't mind?
I was no, I don't. I was married to her about a year. Well, yeah, I was married to her about a year. 2 years would be us actually be separated, but not really divorced. Um, so yeah, I think it was about 2 years that we was technically married.
Mhm.
Um, so it wasn't long. I had been with her for a long time. I dated her before. It was a long, you know what I'm saying? It took us a long time. We grew up together. So
Good.
it's all one big, blur now, so.
A little bit of a
But yeah,
blur.
it was about a 1 full year worth of marriage, but we had been together for a while.
Been together for a while. Do you mind if I ask how old your son is?
My son just turned 8.
8. Okay. Okay. So you were together for a long time. You got married, decided the marriage didn't work out for you, but she described you as best friends on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider you are best friends? Because
I do.
that was a little tricky.
I guess in the sense of just co-parenting and being able to just be able to like, because it is a hard thing to co-parent without feeling a certain type of way. I've seen it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just appreciate that we can just raise our son without it being in this and arguing about every little thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we have had a long history, you know what I'm saying, together. So we've known each other for forever. And it's just like, all right, we already decided that we feel this way and we want this way for our son. And it shouldn't be about me and her and all of that. We just want this for our son at the end of the day. So,
Just
if we can agree about that, then there's no reason for, we just want each other to be happy, everything be smooth. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And for Catherine, I remember you saying that you just felt like they had a friendship or relationship that you felt a little bit locked out of on the show, if I recall that correctly. And I remember your date, Sheila, saying, these are the things I would do. And then Catherine saying, I used to say the same thing until I was in it. And then I just, so it was funny at the time when you said it. Do you feel like you guys were able to come to an understanding after the show that made things a little better for you in regards to how you co-parent and maybe including Catherine in some of the decision-making things so that she felt more included?
Yeah, and that's one thing I felt like on the show that they didn't see. Like, I had been really supportive of that and knew how important that was for me. That was a major thing, which is why it was highlighted on the show. You know what I'm saying? The co-parent and everything like that, because, and I see a lot of families and things like that, mixed families and things of that, and it's just a lot of chaos and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really felt like it was important that we was all on the same page so we can move forward, because everything was moving fast. We're moving fast, and I felt like that's an important thing. Family is important to me. That was also one of the messages I wanted to get out there.
Okay.
It's a lot of messed up families out there, broken up families, people not working together, and I think it's really important for you to get it done, especially if it's for the child. You know what I'm saying? It just works out better that way.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. And you felt the same, Catherine? Do you feel like some things may have gotten resolved due to the show because of that?
I won't say some things got resolved, but I will say it was better understandings moving forward.
Better
The
understand.
understandings, especially in my spaces, always just keeping conscious that this is his child.
Mhm.
And in that space, I have to respect that. And so in the space that he allows me to have a relationship with his son, that's the space I appreciate.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the dating part of the show. Okay. How comfortable or uncomfortable with you guys watching each other walk out the door with whomever you were dating now? So, Rickey, for you, it was Miss Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you may have dated Sheila almost, except for one date.
Yeah, pretty much. I dated her pretty much the whole show.
The whole show. Okay. And then, Catherine, you dated two guys before Marcus?
I dated Mark, and then you're probably thinking about my ex, the date with the ex. Yeah.
So it was the first one and then Marcus. Okay. So what was it like for you guys to watch each other walk out the door? I know like the show they told you guys not to have rules, but did you have rules for each other? Like, this is what you can.
Actually, to correct me on that, they didn't give you any guidance on what you could and couldn't do.
Oh, okay.
Their only thing was they wanted to make sure what you did do was recorded. So when you're with the daters, you can't even talk to them unless it's filmed. Like, yeah, because they want to make sure they get whatever it is that you're trying to talk about. And so we started with no boundaries, right?
Yeah, like just common sense.
Yeah, use your common sense.
Be respectful. I mean, we are like, of course, if you're gonna go on a date on, TV and everything like that, and then it's like, all right, you gotta make some, you got it. We're going on a date. So if it was real life, then we wouldn't give each other that.
I was gonna say, but then too, the space that I got to with, especially when I started dating Marcus, was this may be the last person I actually go on dates with. So I might as well have as much fun as possible. Like
right. It's like we would never just think about going on dates. So if we're gonna go on dates and be together, then just go on a date.
Just go on a date. Okay. How conscious of the camera were you when you were on the date?
I think the first date is your most nervous one, because you're doing a lot of scenes before the dates. So you start getting used to the camera's days early on. Like, so when the dates come, it's them that's nervous.
Yeah.
And they like looking at you like, oh, you're natural. You like, yeah, pretty much. Been doing it for a week now.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So for you, Catherine, like when the first guy came to the door, his name was Mark.
Yeah, Mark. He's so funny.
A real jokester. He was a real jokester.
Right.
What was that like for you, Rickey, to have him come in and talk about, oh, are you the date?
Right. I mean, he had me on my toes. I'm not gonna lie. He had me on my toes because I'm like, I'm over here serious. I'm like, and he busting jokes. I'm like, okay, man, I really got nothing for you. I'm on the defense right now. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and let him know that he did his thing with, being entertaining in my perspective, it's all good, man.
Okay.
Comes with it. Yeah, that's what I signed up for.
Yeah, that's what you signed up for. You seem totally like you were giggling more than Catherine was giggling.
Because he was. I ain't gonna lie. It's funny. I joke around all the time.
Yeah, we are jokesters
all the time. So
that's why too. A lot of our scenes we were laughing. Like even on the set, like we have to catch ourselves because everybody else is so serious. We was like,
So yeah, it was. It was cool. I mean, it was, to me, that's why I said a lot of it was cool, and watching, her interact and just being there in the whole, living that moment at that time. So
it was cool.
Yeah.
My question to you, same Catherine. What was it like watching Sheila walk up to the door? You had said something that was interesting, but first I'm going to let you tell me what it was like to watch Sheila come up to the door and she got on her little silky whatever.
Right. I thought she was cute, but I was irritated because my dates was just so janky. And I was like, wait a minute now. Like, y'all had me in a whole warm-up workout outfit, and now his date like boom, boom, bam. Like, hey, girl, about to take your man out. All right, bye. Like, I'm just like, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
That was my only issue. Even when he got back, I was just like, Like, bro, that's messed up. Like, but I thought she was good. Like, even with her on the date, the only issue I had with Sheila on her date was when she did switch up about the co-parenting situation. Other than that, I thought she was a great date.
Other than that, I thought it was great. I actually did a poll question on IG because you had said after Sheila had left the first day, you said, she got red hair like me. That you said a little pressure, but I don't think she Ricky's type. But I don't know what Ricky's type is. I was
yeah.
I do not know what Ricky type is.
Because I've been around him for 10 years, and a lot of the women that he's dated or talked to, we don't all look the same. Like, even Chelsea and Sheila don't look the same. Like, because Chelsea is really, really cute, and I'm not saying that to take away from Sheila, but they're cute in a different way. And so, like, that's the thing. Like, I didn't see it, and that's probably because I've seen Chelsea more often than Sheila. But
okay, understood. So you did watch the show back.
Yeah, we did watch some episodes because played us with the link that we were supposed to be watching the shows. It was supposed to be at a certain time. All of a sudden, it just became real crazy. And our lives were already kind of compacted with stuff that we had going on. So we made time for what we could watch. For the most part, we tried to catch people reviews like you and other people that just kind of did full lengthy reviews and just kind of gauge what was going on.
Okay. So when you did you watch him? Did you watch Sheila feed him fish?
I had to see it at the reunion. They played it. Like,
but that's why you just go ahead and say, yeah, I did this, I did that. So you won't even be that mad. Y'all say that all the time.
He's still confused as to what the issue was with that. No. Like, I wasn't irritated that Sheila fed him fish. Yeah. My thing was, you told me that she tried on the first date and you didn't do it because you knew I would feel away. So why would you do it on the second date? Which proves the point that we were on the show for. You will easily get, like what I said, you'll let people pressure into stuff.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Y'all didn't see it, but I did it. I didn't do it because I understand all of that, right? And I didn't do it for a reason because of those things. But this time, I felt like because she didn't eat off the fork already, y'all didn't see that. She had just soon as it started. Okay. It's just like, people feed people all the time, man.
Oh, okay.
Y'all didn't see those. Hey, first of all, look, listen, y'all, it's no big deal. I swear. If I'm on a date, I might as well eat off the fork. That's what I need y'all to understand. Everybody, look, that's how I feel.
And he sound like every man. I mean, I'm already on the date. I mean, what?
Right. I ain't even supposed to be on no date. So I felt like it was okay if she didn't eat off the fork, to eat off the fork. You know what I'm saying? If y'all feel like we...
First go round when you like,
yeah,
you heard me. He was
because
like,
she was
like,
it
went like that.
You giggled a little bit. I was like, okay.
She was eating off. She was eating off. I'm like, all right, cool. Then she's like, hey, you want to try it? I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do all that. But this time it was different because I said, you know what I'm saying? She peeped that it because she was eating off the fork first, and then she switched it up because I didn't want to eat off the fork. She just, before she even took a bite out of it, she was like, do you want to try it, type? Before she even tried it.
You want to take the shovel?
No.
But look, all I'm saying is it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. Okay. Everybody calm down, relax. It's not that bad.
I'm asking the same question of Miss Catherine with Marcus. Child. When he had come down to your chest, like he was going to grab something and you started giggling, I was like, oh no. Ricky, were you being just laid back when you saw that too? Did you see that part?
But for the most part, because I was already prepared because she was already heated about the stuff. So I'm like, whatever happens. She gonna do whatever she does. That's her lick back. That's how it is. So like, I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like if she feel like, if you know what I'm saying? So I have to be somewhat relaxed and assessing because I know she's only doing that because she feels a certain type of way. And that's just like that only happens between people that really care and love about each other, Okay. So it's like,
no, since then I've grown from being petty. And
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it is what it is.
I will say that both of you seemed like your dates seemed to be like genuinely trying to get you over to the other side. Like, did you feel that way when you were on these dates? Like, of course, the dates would say all the right things and do all the right things.
Right.
But, I felt like Marcus was really trying to put it on you, Catherine. I felt the same way about Sheila. I was like, oh, they putting it on. Like, are y'all feeling anything? Because the audience is feeling something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think I think meeting new people is going to be exciting anyways, especially in the circumstances. So of course you're going to, like, people say all the time, shoot your shot. So people are going to shoot their shot, especially going through this experience.
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing that meeting people is just exciting. Like I said earlier, and I just know what I came here to do. You know, I was on a mission, and if I got to date somebody to feel more love or express more love, then so be it. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fight through, you know, it's not like we've never been
with other people. And
right.
we said that a lot too.
This
wasn't, the date wasn't a thing that fazed us as much. Because in that 10 years, I watched, well, not watched at the wedding, but I've seen him get married and have a child. And those are the things that would probably, you know, hurt a lot of women to see a person they think that they're supposed to grow with. And even in that same space in return, he's seen me grow in relationships and, you know, things like that. And he's been supportive and I've been supportive of each one. So even in this space, we still kind of had that friend thing. But in the relationship, that's the space that people have to realize we were still growing our relationship while going through this process. So it was a lot of things we didn't even really know about each other because we were still going off of Rickey 10 years ago, Kat 10 years ago, because that's when we were good. And so we didn't jump back in this thing. And now we on a show, we living with his family, like we trying to learn each other again. So the world really watch us try to learn and put a relationship like together in so many words of reconnecting.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. So my next question is about Marcus being on that reunion stage and showing up with a ring, and Rickey was giggling, you were giggling, I'm sitting there like, I didn't know if he was trying to goat you into having an emotional response, Rickey. You were fairly quiet, like you didn't take the ring or anything, but you were just like, oh wow, like what is happening? But Rickey, I wanted to know what you were thinking in that moment when you saw Marcus stand up, walk across the stage with a ring.
I just I already knew I felt like he was gonna do something silly, you know what I'm saying? It's the finale.
Right.
So he was gonna either say something or do something silly or whatever may be the case, and I was just waiting on it. So the ring, I mean, to me, honestly, I didn't think nothing of it because I know, and like by the time that even, you know, by the time we're in this space, we're still growing and understanding each other. We're in a whole different level, you know. Okay. And that's not a normal thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not about to get through with this ring, you know what I'm saying? If our relationship wasn't that strong, then yeah, that would have worked, you know what I'm saying? If you don't actually know what this person, you know, you're in a relationship with, going through these things, seeing this person go through these experiences, both, you know what I'm saying? We're really going on a journey already, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I guess, and if it lets me figure out, hey, if she really takes this ring, then it's not what I thought it was. You know what I mean? It's just, that's okay, because I've been in places where you really into something and it didn't work out that way. So it's just like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they really played it up in them previews. I'm gonna tell you, because I was like, "Ooh, is she gonna take this ring?" Like, what were you thinking?
I think they did. I was great clickbait. I think towards the end, all together, because I was tired of seeing myself. I was like,
you were the couple. I'm telling you.
I see now. Look,
yes,
but I guess we can start when Marcus. First of all, I was trying to be polite to Marcus because we did go on dates, and I didn't know anybody's energy on the stage. I was just trying to come in all calm, cool, and collected. You know, I had just put Smokey to sleep, and so like I was trying to come in like, cool, you know, like okay, we're here at the reunion. I don't really, you know, understand why, but we're here. And so when Marcus started speaking, I felt like Rickey, and that's why me and Rickey just kind of was like on a giggle high, like here he go.
Look at each other like.
And so I didn't know what to expect, and even the stuff that he said, it edited out a lot of things because he really started with. Remember he was like, they said, have you guys been in touch? And he was like, Catherine, you want to tell him? And I was like, Marcus, don't even play with me like that. Like, and so he calmed down. But then he's like rattled back up. And like at that point, I was just like over talking to him and just trying to focus. Like, and I was trying to focus on like my sanity at that point. Like, you know what? We're not gonna say nothing. But then out of nowhere, girl, I heard Sheila. And then I was just like, wait, what? Like,
get involved.
That rattled me because one of my biggest things was I am not all the way healed. I'm healing. And so when she started directing her attention towards me, and it was in a space of, you don't know me. Like, I'm from Dallas, Texas, so you can't address me when you don't know me. Like, and that's my biggest thing, especially because I respected you in this process. I felt like you respected me. So let's not start that. And then too, the space I was in with Rickey, because mind you, we're still in this process, was I really want to see him speak up, because a lot of spaces that we had been through, I didn't feel like he was speaking up. And so even in that space of him having to speak up on a lie, I still just wanted to see it. And that's why my response was, there are men speaking. So Sheila, mind your business, because you ain't went on no date with me. So you don't know me.
Right. And just for the audience, Marcus and Sheila kind of took over that reunion. So you two were the last people sitting, and then Marcus did his little thing, and I guess Sheila didn't think she was getting camera time.
So I'm telling you, that's how it felt in real time, because y'all didn't get to see everything. Like, we were on that couch for at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh no.
And so like you talking, and we talking about that group that you saw. We were on that couch for at least, let's say, 45 minutes. Okay. Y'all only got to see 5 minutes of that. So just imagine like this group of extras just constantly, and you just like,
right, because
what is your point? Because we're still sitting here together. And like, that was a space that me and Rickey had grew to after they kept on antagonizing. Like, we're still here together, so why you mad? Like, and that was my thing to Sheila. Like, I know you didn't fall in love with a man that got a girlfriend, and the same for you, Mark. Like,
right, exactly. Okay, I just was like, are they putting on or what? Because at this point, I did feel like you guys had connections with your date, but I also felt like you guys really love each other. That's exactly. I mean, that's what it felt
like. We had a bond, and that's the thing. There was definitely chemistry, I feel, between Rickey and Sheila and myself and Marcus. But the space that we grew to, I feel, and I can only speak for me, is Marcus became like in a space of a mentor, friend, and like business person. Because we aligned in that space so heavily. He was trying to transition his business from Dallas to Atlanta, as was I. And we had those stomping grounds. And so that's where we spoke a lot about on our date. And in the space of him and Sheila, from my understanding, they spoke a lot about her Airbnbs, which to me was a business thing too. And so that's why I was disappointed. Because to me, that was their opportunity to talk about their businesses and talk about themselves and what they have going on. But yet they wanted to try to create a chaotic scene that I don't feel made any of us look good, to be honest.
Okay. And yeah, it did, like, again, I was just when I saw it, I was like, oh, I think she feels left out. So she's trying to get a little camera time. And even Chelsea was kind of like, whoa, what am I watching? Like, you could tell her energy was like, I don't even know what this is. But my only thing is, I hope that you feel comfortable with our relationship. That's how she came off. But I skipped a question, Rickey. I was going to ask you, when Catherine was sitting beside you, when you guys, talked to Dr. Stacy, you started crying after your last date with Marcus, and you kind of started crying, and you said, I know who I want to be with. And then in confessional, Rickey, you said, I don't know if she's going to pick me. Like, I hope she picks me. Do you remember saying that? And
I probably did feel that way, because we were going through like some real things and really asking ourselves real questions. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, like, even with us going through things, knowing who it is, like, we want to make sure we're doing the right thing. And like going through counseling, marriage, you know what I'm saying? And like trying to, that's one of the things you do. You go through premarital counseling. So you got to really ask yourself real serious questions and not lie to yourself or the person you want to get married to. So it's just,
okay.
If she decides like.
With the show?
Huh?
The show put you through premarital counseling?
Well, the experience was like, I guess, was like a somewhat of a premarital counseling, like, saying that was my idea of it, because, people do need like counseling and help, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I would say to a degree, the show sort of put us through a crazy premarital counseling,
right?
Because the roller coaster with the show is the dynamic of having a relationship expert is great because she exposes a lot of things that you're not working on as an individual, and then what the relationship is suffering from, right? And that is Dr. Stacy's part, and that's what we advocated for, and that was the only reason I really got him to even go, was because his thing was, okay, free therapy. That's what we look forward to the most. And then the psychology of also dating another person. Like, so now you get to see how it feels to actually be back out there in your bachelor life while you still got your girlfriend or boyfriend at home. And so now you get to really gauge, like, am I really happy here? Or am I really happy just going back out here dating and finding something that feels like this? Or maybe this person isn't. Because I did see a season where that happened now.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm happy that you felt really excited about getting premarital counseling or just counseling. That's amazing. Seriously. So then my next question to you, Rickey, is that I know you said at the beginning you don't watch reality TV, and I guess you're not a fan of it.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of reality TV because it be touching me, like feeling some type of way when I see certain stuff and how people feel about certain things, because I'd be like, that's not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just like it's crazy to see sometimes, and I just don't enjoy it like that.
You don't enjoy it.
But I have seen some reality TV. I've partaken in it before, but it's just not my thing.
The boy got a whole season on.
Okay. I've actually had a men's panel. I've been trying to bring more men to my channel because I'm a women-centric channel.
Right.
And I did a panel with I think 7 gentlemen who are all PhDs. They talked about how men present on reality TV. And my question to you is, how do you feel about Black men and how they present on reality TV? That's your first question.
Okay. All right. So my thing is, I don't think they are, well, to be honest, it's because it's the reality TV is more drawn, I feel like, to women. I don't think men really watch it unless that's something they're really into. They're gonna watch reality on things that men are into.
Okay. You're right.
Not saying that men are not into like being married and things of that nature. But it's not showing a man's perspective and feelings out there, like not getting the vision and their thoughts and their messages out there. And that was my thing. Even after seeing myself on the show, it was just like, dang, I really didn't feel like I was heard. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that in the beginning of the show.
Yes.
And we kind of got into it about it because I didn't feel like I didn't.
He spoke up in the beginning when Dunbar and Chance were there. They were circulating in the sessions with the questions. He had to speak up and was like, I don't feel like anybody's really addressing me. So
okay. Yeah. How did you feel about how you presented on Put a Ring on It?
I didn't like it, to be honest, but I'll deal with it. Like I said, this is what I decided to do. It's whatever. I've moved on from it since, and it's not terrible, but it's definitely not what I wanted. You know what I mean? So it's just like even with Dunbar was what I was gonna say. Even with Dunbar had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of good stuff to say.
And when I seen that that's one of the reasons why I don't think they decided not to go, because I don't think
they didn't stay.
You know, they didn't decide not to stay because he didn't feel like what he had to say and his feelings about getting married and his.
And I think they saw early on how they were going to look, or either they had their own way of trying to get their shine for their businesses on the show.
Yeah, and you know, relationships happen in all different shapes and form. Marriages happen in all shapes and different form. And I feel like a lot of it, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, the man has to put the ring, you know what I'm saying, ask her to marry her. And I feel like we should be heard more, understood more, especially if a lot of women want to be married. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really understand who you want to get married to, not just have a man, but have a man for you. You know what I'm saying? That's good for you. And I just, like I said, at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like I got anything, and kind of felt like in the beginning of the show that I wasn't going to get that message, you know. And even to you saying that I was crying, you know.
She was talking about me, but
oh, she was crying, or I was crying?
But he did have a scene where he was crying because
you were crying. I saw Kat crying.
Yeah,
Oh, you
but
just
he was emotional too during
yeah.
the process because his grandmother passed at that time,
Oh,
and no one acknowledged it, even though we talked about it in our sessions and on the show. And so,
Yeah,
like,
it was a real serious thing, grieving through, you know what I'm saying, shooting and everything. Like it's hard to like manage your feelings when, you know, all of these things is happening to you at once. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that to me felt like, you know, people said that I looked depressed and things of that nature on the show. I was, you know what I'm saying, depressed. I was grieving, but not because I was with her, you know what I'm saying? And
that explains a lot.
yeah,
Part of probably why you appeared quiet is because you were grieving.
yeah, and
We didn't
tired, you
know
know what I'm
that.
saying?
yeah,
I had been working like
because he
switching,
was a truck driver and
working
he
on my
had ended up
business, truck
losing
driver.
quitting his job
Yeah.
to, yeah.
I was doing a lot. I had a lot on my shoulders, and that's why I felt like, you know, my message wasn't put a lot, because it takes a lot to do what we do, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't shown.
Okay. That's an excellent answer. I appreciate it, honestly, because it cleared up a lot for me. I feel like you are incredibly talkative right now. So
Yeah.
we definitely missed something on the show when you know, you were there and doing what you needed to do for the character. And also I agree with you. Like we got to see these little bits and pieces, and it looked like they were definitely driving a story with Dunbar and Chance that we didn't get to see. So,
Right.
or maybe it wasn't being as truthful as they wanted it to be, so they ended up leaving. But I appreciate the clarity. Do you guys have, you know, relationships or keep in contact with anybody else on the show?
Pretty much everybody.
Yeah,
I hit
Dunbar
up.
is I love Dunbar because he's from
Oh,
Dallas.
okay.
um, yes, and Joy is like my big sister, so me and her talk like every day.
Okay.
Jaisha, of course, big brother. Dr. Stacy, me and her talk almost every day too. She's like my mom. Like she's helped me with so much. She even helped us find a therapist. She helped me find a therapist. I also have a life coach now, Chanel Laurent. And so yeah, Dr. Stacey has been a great help. And then I've still been in connection with a lot of the production cast members, and they've been so nice and cool.
That's awesome, y'all. That sounds like a great experience to have after. I'm happy about that. Not everybody have, like, you know, really good experience after the fact. They don't want to deal with anyone else on the show. So that's awesome too. And then my last two questions for you guys is number one, do you have any regrets about your storylines for the show? Or I shouldn't call them storylines, but how you presented. Do you have any regrets now that it's all said and done?
I would say no, I don't have it, but you know, sometimes I wonder because it's just how I am. But I'm like, this is what I signed up for. I signed up for a lot of things, and I have done a lot of different things, and I'm just like, I didn't did it again. So,
Okay.
I feel like I'm supposed to be where I am right now, and I made the right decisions, you know, moving forward, because I'm always like, the thing is to get better. You know, everybody wants to get better. So like, I feel like I didn't got better. We didn't got better. Everybody's moving, you know, up. So
Right.
I don't regret stuff.
Right. I don't live in regrets neither. I feel like because I'm very a firm believer in God does everything in his time, and me and Ricky couldn't have painted a better story for our lives. Like everything that I feel like we've went through on the show, off the show, and even in a space of just propelling our relationship has really, to me, fast tracked where we should be and where we should be really prioritizing. And so for that space, like I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for everybody that's been touched or supportive for our experience. And I'm happy for everybody that also saw, even in those 5 minutes that they got to see us on the scenes on the show, that we were being very vulnerable, transparent, and honest. Like, especially me. Like, I really went in there with putting my whole heart on the show and just expecting the help to be a better Black woman.
I felt all of that. I felt like it transcended. Okay, perfect. And then my last question is, what lesson did you learn from the show that has changed your relationship or your life in general for both of you?
I be feeding my man now, girl. Pork and everything. I been ate from. I'm like, here, baby, here you go. Look.
And I be over there going in too.
No, I think one of my biggest things was just getting back to a space to where I make sure that my whole is really, really complete and full before I really start looking at trying to, you know, mesh my universe with somebody else.
Okay. Oh, okay. How about you, Rickey?
I think just being able to express myself better, you know what I'm saying? It's always as a especially I feel like a black man is difficult to express yourself.
Mhm.
Um and I want to be able to at least be able to express myself to her. So that was my biggest thing. Being able to, not overreact when you think you are, because that's always a thing. Like communication is always a big problem between relationships.
Okay.
And I think I was able to up my communication skills and express myself and my feelings and all of that. So it is a thing that men need to work on. I know for me, because I can be, the way that I am. All the things you see on the show is for real. They just highlighted and made it worse than it was. We go places. I do things.
You do things.
Yeah. It's just like I said,
do.
it was so quick.
The
So
show presented you as a person who likes to stay in the house with your family. Catherine,
we be, but it's a time like this is the thing. That's how we got into a relationship, right?
And I want to
clarify,
like
we know each other, right? And then
my thing is, even in the times that we are just in the house with his family, like those are great times, because like we didn't have crawfish balls, we didn't have the color things party. Like
it's key. First of all, right? It's key,
right?
But we do things. She's not just in the house, blah blah blah. It's
okay. We thought she was struggling. I'm telling you, I was like,
of course, but that's the thing.
And I'm glad you brought
okay.
That
yeah,
up.
You say you think you're sure we are struggling because, like you said, she is pushing her business from over here. Now it's a lot to deal with me, and we're transitioning. I'm transitioning. It's a lot. It's moving fast. So yeah, it look crazy, but that's just what it is. You know.
But that's what I meant too when I said y'all got to see us in real time, because see, in the space that we were like filming the show, I was just now getting used to his family dynamic. Just now. Like we had just experienced our first few holidays.
Yeah, it's not been happening for a long time.
This hasn't been going on for 10 years, 2 years. Like now we're in our going into our second year.
Right.
But like it's just like was that thing of like I was being transparent with I'm with his family, but what made me mad? That's what I was gonna say. Not to come back into it. This is what it was. When I snapped at Rickey about that, I don't give him the space to miss him. Yes. That is what triggered my thing of him. I didn't feel like he appreciated me coming in and just thriving in the space of adapting to his family and adjusting to that dynamic. And I was just like, because all the things that I mentioned, I enjoy doing. And that's why I was doing them. But when he said that, it was just like, what do you mean? Like, what space is there? Like, because we live with your family and we do everything together as a family. So what do you mean? Like, and that's what irritated me. And I just was
I remember that, Rickey.
Don't lie, Rickey.
Yes. See, I just, you speaking your truth, people misunderstand different things of that nature. And it wasn't really, I was trying to find something at this point. Like, yeah, because the whole time people felt like also I didn't have a lot of good to say about Kat, but it's a lot of things. Like I said, a lot of good things about Kat. Kat is a wonderful, amazing woman. If all of y'all see that, of course I see it. And then
I was going to say, we were like, this is what people aspire to. Like, this is the woman, when you're a little girl, you're supposed to be all these things. I was like, well, she's a whole kit and caboodle. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, and yes, she is. But, you know what I'm saying? It always, no one's perfect, though. Right. You know what I mean? And you have to work with those things. And just because someone is perfect, that might not be perfect for you. Right. And that's a real thing you got to ask yourself and not lie to yourself about.
But she is perfect for you, though.
I believe so.
Facts. Okay. All right. Just making sure. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to let you go. This has been a long Monday, I'm sure, for you working all day. Yes. I appreciate you guys for joining me and allowing me to present this interview and show the other side of things. Again, you were one of my faves. I really enjoyed you, and I do hope that we get to see you again in some capacity. I know that reality TV isn't your thing, but I hope we get to see you again because I think you have a great story.
Yeah, we are working, and we are working to get other people's stories out there as well, and other voices out there heard. So
right, and I also just started my YouTube channel, so people can kind of follow my day to day and me trying to reconstruct my business here in Atlanta, and also the things that I have going on along with you guys may see me, but you should have seen me this week on The Brat Loves Judy. I was on there because I did their official commercial for the Brat's Kaleidoscope brand that they're partnering together, her and her wife Judy. So I did enjoy myself when we filmed that. And then I may have another reality show coming, but it's going to be something that's going to be Atlanta based.
Okay, perfect. What is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is the Catherine Williams, but you can always find me in all of my branched out my social mediums pages on my Instagram, which is cat_the_stylist.
Okay, and I'll make sure that I drop the links for everybody in this video so that you can just roll on over there and follow them.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you again.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.